Hi y'all, Sarah here with the Heartfully Homespun. I hope you guys can see me okay. I hope the lighting is okay, or I can adjust it to be okay or something. I wanted to jump on here. We are actually at the park with my kiddos, and I wanted to jump on here and do this virtual homeschool collab put on by Just Sew Trish. She is an amazing homeschool mama. I describe her as a powerhouse mama. I have been watching her videos for so long. She is the biggest encourager in the homeschool mama world. Whether you are a homeschool mama or just a homeschool parent in general, she is just an amazing, amazing lady. And I have loved her videos so much. She's been a huge encourager in my life as far as just watching her videos. And when I saw that she was doing this, I was like, I am on board. I am jumping in on it because she is actually the reason why I chose Christian Light Education for my kindergartner this year. So yay. If you have not seen her video on that, you totally should. It is amazing. Anyway, this collab is done to encourage homeschool mamas, whether they are already in the trenches of homeschooling their kids, or they are thinking about it. They're kind of right there at the brink of maybe deciding to homeschool. And these are the reasons. She asked the question of, why do we homeschool? And it's an amazing question, and one that I get to ask very often. And so I get to, it's kind of hard to break down at times. I can kind of sum it up in short terms, but I decided that I have some notes written here. Hope you guys can see those crazy notes. Crazy lot of notes, but I think I can go through them pretty quickly if I read them. And so if you see me looking down, it is because I am reading them, because I do not have them memorized. But and these are just the basic reasons of why we started to homeschool to begin with. They are not the reasons why we continue to homeschool. The reasons since I have started homeschooling, I'm going into my 4th year of homeschooling, and we are going into our 4th year of homeschooling. And the reasons, of course, each year have grown exponentially as to why we continue to homeschool. But these are just the reasons of why we started. And at the beginning, my son was actually he began 2nd grade with us at home, with me homeschooling him. He went to the public school for 2 years. And of course, I was homeschooled as a child through my growing up years. K through 12, I was homeschooled. And I had a very good experience with it. Very good experience. My mother was an amazing homeschool teacher, and I was actually homeschooled at a time when people thought it was very weird. Not normal. People would ask all the time, what about socialization? And I think people still ask that. People ask me that all the time, like, well, what about your kids' socialization and all that kind of stuff, and a whole nother video for another day. But anyway, these are just a few of the reasons why we homeschool. My husband at the beginning was not on board. He was brought up in public school, and he didn't have a horrible time in public school, and he just thought that that's what our kids were going to do. Well, a lot of things led me to want to homeschool a lot of things in the public school, and him as well, my husband as well, but I was a little more on board with it at the beginning. Pretty soon after kindergarten, I was really kind of feeling that tug at my heart, like I knew that God wanted me to do this. But you can't just say, well, that's what I'm going to do, and that's the way it is, and it's this way or the highway, And so I talked to my husband on a regular basis, and then I would just kind of let it go. And then I would talk again and then let it go. If he said no, he just wasn't on board with it. But then one day he actually came to me and he said, are you still wanting to do that homeschool thing? And I was like, yes. Of course, inside I was like, yes, victory. But these are just a few of the reasons why I may say but of course it is my husband and I both that want to homeschool our kids, and I'm going to jump right into it. Number 1, I want to be in the driver's seat in my kids' education. I don't want someone deciding for me what my kids learn. I want to decide what they learn. I want to keep my kids pure. My hubby and I want we want to decide when our kids learn those hard topics, such as sex education and many others. a better bond with their siblings. I cannot even describe the kind of bond I have with my own siblings. I'm the oldest of 5, and they're my best friends, and I want my kids to have that. I always had that growing up, and I actually, yeah, and you know, you may not always get along perfect with your brothers and sisters. It does not mean that there will be no issues, but for the most part, I have an amazing relationship with all 3 of my brothers and my sister. They are my best friends. I can say without a doubt that they are my best friends. No homework, and that is in all caps because, hallelujah, no homework. Christ-centered education. We can stop our school and have the option of taking it with us and go wherever we want to go, and we have. Gearing our homeschool to meet each of my kids' personal needs. Whether it's they're struggling a little in math, we can back it up a little bit and really focus on whatever they're struggling with. I have the option to do that. I'm not pushing them to the next step until they master what they need to learn. I was really disappointed at how the school system was equipping our kids to face the world. But I learned they are our responsibility to raise. And I get pretty emotional about this, and I'm going to try really hard not to boo-hoo. It's our responsibility to raise, not the school system. I cannot rest at night knowing I could have done more to make their education better. We brought our kids home to homeschool them, to love them, to raise them, and to guide them in the way they should go. I feel a great responsibility to do that. And I want to put a little side note. I am not saying if you do not homeschool your kids that you are a terrible mother or a father. This is just what I personally feel like God has called me to do. It has truly completed our family when we decided to do this. I cannot imagine doing anything else with my life than teaching my kids. I would do anything to make sure that they are educated the way we feel like they should be educated. And guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will have links down below to the virtual homeschool co-op. Of course, it is Just Sew Trish that started this collab, and she is amazing, and I'm so honored to be part of this collab, and I'll talk to you guys real soon. Bye-bye.